All right, y'all, today we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business. Going to see for its local search, see for its city search if either of them, any of them, got BSS. So we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pinned post, pinned video somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. And as a result, we got our FSIC graph here in white. We got way on the left, we got the highest intent peeps, the peeps searching for, boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And when we're dealing with these types of peeps, we're making videos about BSS, or at least having these peeps come to us. And the lowest intent peeps way over on the right, we got, so we talk about those peeps at our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad at Doctor, where we're talking about BLCS. Currently over there, we're only working with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS, boudoir search sameness, is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And when this happens, if we got 0 slots page 1 on Google, it means we're on page 2 or deeper. We already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. And as a result, we're invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. Our business is dying fast. Also, 1 slot page 1 Google, not good enough. That ain't good enough. It's because everyone else is going to have 1 slot on Google as well. So there's 10 organic slots. If everyone has 1 slot, guess what? We look the same as everyone else. We're not special. We're not looking special. We're not standing out. And guess what a buyer's doing? Well, guess what approximately 80% of buyers are doing? They are clicking every single boudoir photography website, filling out every contact form, getting a quote from everyone, compressing prices, negotiating, getting the best price for them, just wasting our time, waste. And dude, and then it's like, at max, we're probably bringing in 10% of the people. And so, just real big waste of time. So this means our business is also then dying slowly. Now, 0 1 slots on page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And so it's common and it's accepted, but it's not normal to have such a few number of links page 1 on Google search. And the 2 deeper root causes that are causing that are A, market saturation, and B, the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, yeah, that's more peeps getting, over time, more and more peeps actually increasing, become boudoir photographers, get new gear, get new iPhones, get new cameras. Then they're thrown up the Google My Business profile saying they're now a boudoir photographer. They got their boudoir website saying they now shoot boudoir photography. They're posting the mom groups on Facebook saying they now do boudoir photo shoots. And more boudoir photographers over time for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every other boudoir photographer. Next, we got the false belief of page 1 equality. This is a new one. Most people don't know about this. When boudoir photographers basically kind of didn't really think about it, just kind of automatically accepted that every boudoir photographer gets either 0 1 slots page 1 on Google search, which is 100% incorrect. And I know that because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search in only 10 days. But boudoir photographers have auto accepted this, where they actually, let's say they got their website ranked number 7 page 1, and then market saturation happens, and they actually, they're position 2 on page 2. And as a result, they kind of just accept it. They're like, well, I hope those new peeps delete their website and Google stops indexing them. So then Google can be nice and put me back on page 1. But no, that's not how it works. We can actually take as many page 1 slots on Google as we want. So this leads to people not even thinking it's possible. They get more slots, so they don't even look for a solution. They've kind of broken out of that mental jail, that mental box. Now, a boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Remember, 0 1 slots on page 1 is boudoir search sameness. So if they got 0 1 slots on page 1, that means they're on page 2 or deeper. Yeah, dude, their business is dying fast. Disappearing boudoir photographer, they're on page 1. They got 1 slot on page 1, their business is dying slow. Now they're being compared to, they're 1 out of 10. They're being compared to all the other boudoir photographers. Everyone else has got 1 link. And as a result, their business is dying slow. Both situations, though, a disappearing boudoir photographer, it's basically the canary in the coal mine, kind of the red flag, the flashing warning light, telling us that the boudoir photography business itself is on the path to disappearing. But thankfully, we now have a solution. We've discovered that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And as a result, I mean, it works exactly as it says. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. And when that happens, it's kind of like we think of it as the snow on the top of the Andes Mountains down in South America. The snow on the backside of those mountains, the east side. When that snow melts, what actually happens is it flows into streams, small streams, then to small rivers, and then actually all flows into the massive Amazon River. That Amazon River, everything flows into, that's page one Google search. So, but it all starts with saturating social search, showing up there for those highest intent boudoir buyer searches on social. And when we do that, that's the snow on the top of the backside, the east side of those Andes Mountains that we need. Everything flows. Everything happens because that snow's there. Everything happens because we execute SQ methodology correctly. And what's interesting about this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that actually gives them a chance to still grow their business in the face of massive market saturation, and it gives them that opportunity in a relatively quick time frame. And that is because, well, the only other solution I've seen provide that same benefit grows in a still able to grow in a or the chance to grow in a saturating more and more saturating market is having a large well-known brand. But dude, that does not satisfy our as fast as relatively quickly criteria. It's actually you know it takes like 5 to 10 years to do that. But guess what, dude? We ain't got 5 to 10 years. AI is here taking people's jobs right now. So we need a solution that allows us to get results or gives us a shot right now. And the interesting thing about SQ methodology is actually my estimates is as we do it, as we run it, and we're doing so much more frequency across so many different search surfaces or different surfaces, my estimate is it enables us to build a brand approximately 8x as fast as traditional methods. So it's kind of like helps us build up that brand fast. I mean, imagine if you got a large well-known brand and you're still utilizing SQ methodology. I mean, dude, you're essentially unbeatable then in your area. Now, an example for SQ methodology, right now we are heading to, all right, we are going to go to Boston, Massachusetts. And let's say there's 1 million boudoir photographers in Boston, Massachusetts. And with those 1 million boudoir photographers, we're one of them. And everyone's got their website saying they shoot boudoir, all competing for page one Google search. And we ain't got no large, well-known brand yet. So our only chance of growing here, literally our only chance, basically we had zero chance before. But now we got one chance, is to utilize SQ methodology. And let's say we do it all the way to the max, like maximum ability. Let's say we're able to take the first 300 slots of social search, and we're able to take those, and those flow onto Google page one search. And let's say we're taking the first 300 slots on Google as well for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. And when we take those, we are actually, basically, we are actually that's taking the first 30 pages on Google. So essentially, a boudoir buyer would have to scroll down to page, slot 301 in social search, or would have to go to basically Google page 31 with Google search in order to basically find any of our boudoir competitors. We already know 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So who the heck's going? Dude, who is going to page 31? Basically no one. So in this scenario, whose business is still growing? Most likely ours. Whose business is dying / becoming invisible / declining? Most likely all of our competing 999,999 boudoir photographers because they are not utilizing S-cubed methodology. And so this is, kind of an ultra example of what S-cubed methodology, could allow at like the most extreme end. Now, once treated with S-cubed methodology, we now have page one visibility, P1V. Initial benefits, yeah, we get more slots, page one Google search, and every new slot we get page one on Google search, we are actually kicking another boudoir photographer, competing boudoir photographer in our city off of Google search. And a lot of boudoir photographers actually like this initial benefit the best. So we can actually control, literally, we can basically control who is on page one, which of our competitors are on page one of Google search for which keywords. We can relegate everyone, all those that we don't want on there, to page two or deeper if we put in the effort to get as many page one slots on Google search, as Google will give us. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. And this is where the GBC universe recommends having a minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page one Google search, because if everyone else has one slot on page one of Google search, then what actually happens is us having 3 slots, we actually look, we're dominating them. Everyone else got 1 slot, and the ultra rare chance other peeps got 2 slots, then we're still dominating them as well. So 3 out of 10 slots is the minimum that GBC Universe recommends. And a boudoir photographer with BSV boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer. So we've got our full universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with BSS boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. And we finally found the solution to S-cubed methodology. We achieve page 1 visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, now onto my results utilizing S-cubed methodology. So I started with having 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 of Google search. And let's see what I got for the organic slots here after utilizing it. So we got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So dude, in only 10 days, utilizing SQ methodology, I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search, and these are the results that I got. Now the main event here, we're gonna check out this boudoir photography business, check out its local search, city search, see if we got any BSS, see if we're in the GBC recommended minimums. All right, so we're going to Henderson, Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada. All right, let's see, Henderson, Nevada. All right, so let's see what we got. Nope. Nope. All right, we got 0 out of 10 for Henderson, Nevada, so we got BSS there. And now we're going to Las Vegas. All right, let's go. All right, so let's check this. All right, we got 1. There we go. Boom, we got 1. All right, so we got 1 out of 10. All right, so going back to our. All right, so local search Henderson. What's that? Is that part of Las Vegas? I believe that's my best guess. So all right, 0 out of 10 slots there. So we got BSS. We're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum. 3 out of 10 slots, page 1, Google search. Las Vegas, we got 1 out of 10. So we still do have BSS with the search sameness. And we also are not meeting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 of Google search. All right, so if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, because you've done your local search for the highest intent keywords that boudoir buyers are searching for in your local area, and then in your city area, and either you had BSS for one of them or both of them, or you did not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 for one of them or both of them, then, well, and you see, finally there's a solution here, SQ'd methodology. Like, yes, finally, this is what I've been waiting for. And you're able to see that because you've accepted that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. We're not just subject to the whims of Google search. Google actually allows us to go and take as many page 1 slots as we want, as we'll put in the effort for. So you realize that's a false belief, to just kind of let it be, and we can go grab and take as much as we want. And you also send the 2 prongs of market saturation. More boudoir photographers every week. Someone's getting a new phone, someone gets a new camera. You like the initial benefits, more slots on page 1, and especially kicking your competitors off page 1, making them disappear. And so you're liking dominating page 1 and preventing current boudoir photographers from getting in, or ranking on page 1, or essentially ever being seen by the approximately 80% bulk of the Google searchers, the market. And you're actually thinking ahead, and you're saying AI, okay, it's taking more and more people's jobs every single day. Last time that happened, COVID, more people were forced to become boudoir photographers to earn money. So like, all right, I already know what over and above more people buying new iPhones, getting new cameras, more people getting new being forced to become boudoir photographers, but they already have the device in their hands already. And so you want to fortify your position. You see SQ's methodology is the perfect way to do that. And you also like the extra backend benefits that you can see with you know, using the solution, which is for every day we execute on S cubed methodology correctly, we actually increase the probability of getting recommended here. Top primary, placement, the best slot, AI overview. And, when we get this premium placement, people are getting, kind of like it's kind of like a Google best recommended badge, hidden, but kind of implicitly in the buyer's, in the buyer subconscious. And also, every day we do SQ methodology correctly, you know, we're basically building up these invisible thematic keyword columns, kind of like columns or spokes out from the hub of our brand, our business name. And that's what AI uses for the AI overview. And also, as we build up these invisible thematic keyword columns, we are increasing the probability that AI search recommends us for an AI search query. That's ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, and also Google Gemini. So these are kind of future benefits of executing SQ methodology correct today, day after day after day. Other future benefit obviously helps us build a brand faster since we're everywhere at once, way faster, about 4 times faster than normal. Actually, it could be 6, 7, 8 times faster than normal actually. So also building the brand faster, and you decide you're going to be a first person mover of your city using SQ methodology because, well, you heard that my current plan right now is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city. So you want to hop on that. You decide you're going to hop on that to kick out all your competitors and actually get these initial benefits. More slots page one, kicking more people off page one, fortifying your page one for new boudoir photographers when AI is taking people's jobs, building up AI overview probability, AI search recommendation probability. Because, dude, I remember when I searched for boudoir photographers in the city, ChatGPT, last time I did it, recommended 3. And I went there manually, searched with Google, went through all the list, there's like 60. And so we really got to win Google AI search because it's increasing every single year. I haven't used standard Google search for things in like a year. Or AI search is increasing every single day. I mean, I've used the AI mode on Google a lot. Give me the summary. I don't want to read nothing. And so increase probability AI overview placement, increase probability AI search placement, approximately 8 times faster to create a brand because of all these other initial benefits. So imagine you got a winning brand and you're still using SQ methodology. And everyday user making bigger and bigger strides against your current competitors in the city because they ain't working with me. That's the plan right now. And you also see conversely, if your competitor works with me first, then and you get shut out, you lose all these initial benefits, you lose all the fortification benefits, you lose the future benefits, AI overview, higher probability recommended AI search, building a brand approximately 8 times faster. And you actually first need to rederive or derive for the first time S cubed methodology for yourself, and then you need to go execute it. And you're never going to be 100% confident executing it because you're never going to if you've derived it or rederived it correctly. But let's say you're equaling our output, but me and your competitor have already been working together a bunch, so we have a massive gap between us already. So even if you equal our output, you're guaranteed to just keep the gap the same size between your competitor and your city that's working with me and you. So you need to actually double or triple our output to kind of pull those invisible thematic keyword column momentum away from the AI kind of brain overview from your competitor over towards yourself. And it's like, dude, who's got the 80 hours? You need like 80 hours a day. You need like 80 hours a day to do that. So you decide, screw that. You decide you're gonna be the first mover of your city hopping on this, because you don't want to deal with not getting these benefits and your competitor getting them instead of you. So if that's you, shoot me a DM. When my basically when my DM's open. My DMs are currently closed. Hospital is currently closed for new patients. But when the hospital opens for new patients, shoot me a DM and we'll see if you qualify to use our S cubed methodology.